Is Link still peeing in his yard?
Welcome to Good Mythical More. Do I have news for you?
Oh. You got on the news?
I've got some, I got on the local news for peeing in my side yard.
Local man.
No, I have some information that I found, anecdotal information, yes, but powerful, on Reddit.
Oh.
Related directly to my situation of peeing in my side yard, which I have been ridiculed and all types, shamed and critiqued and lambasted.
You've also been pretty vehemently defended, I will say as well.
And that's going to continue today.
Okay, so
with a little outside source called a Reddit. At my side. So I'm gonna go in on that. But first, I'd like for you to talk about peeing a little bit because I
have experience.
I was present. I was outside of the bathroom for what happened to you. And I was like, we should talk about this.
Yeah, we were in North Kakalaki.
And Jenna, you're here, right?
I am. I had to come in for the pee talk.
Yep.
You want to hear some pee talk?
Yep, I gotta know the update.
There's so much pee talk today. So if you're not into that, that's all we're gonna be talking about.
This was not the trip to North Carolina that you were present for, Jenna. This was the trip back to North Carolina, the shorter trip. And
mystery.
Yep, we
went out to
get a little
lunch at a diner.
A good diner.
Yeah.
And I needed to urinate, of course, That's sometimes you have to do it. And I went to the bathroom in this establishment, and it was one of those bathrooms that doesn't have a urinal and it only has a toilet.
It's an old establishment.
Old, yeah. And I mean, maybe I should pee sitting down, okay? I'm not one of these guys who's like, I never pee sitting down, but I just typically, I've got pretty good aim, so I don't.
It's a long way down there though.
And I not as long as you think. And then I know how to do a bank shot, So I know how to not have a lot of spillage. I think if you were to do like an infrared or however they would go about like trying to show the spillage, like a Discovery Channel like graphic of how my pee bounces around the room, I think it would be low bounce.
Okay.
I think I have a low bounce. So I like to stand up. Also, if you don't have to put your butt on
I love the fact that you just had to
seat.
defend the fact that you peed while standing. It's like, what kind of world do we live in where you gotta do that? You shouldn't,
No, because a lot of people will say, when they hear this story, none of this would happen if you just sat down to pee.
Right, but we're not in Japan.
Right. This is a diner in North Carolina.
Right.
Who knows what's on there?
As I've said, in Japan, there will be a sign above it that says, please sit to pee.
Yeah.
Which,
right.
I mean, I applaud and I like it and I did that and I do that sometimes. But when you're in an old diner.
So I lifted the lid and I immediately noticed
You lifted the seat.
The lid was lifted, but I lifted the seat. And then that was when I noticed that before I started peeing, the seat fell back down. It was one of those where they've built the toilet too close to the wall and it's causing the top of the toilet on the tank to be jutted out just enough so that the lid and the seat they get like 90 degrees, but they don't get like that extra 91 degrees, so they sit up all the time.
So it teeters up there.
And so
teeters over the Peter.
So I pushed it up and it fell down. I pushed it up and it fell down. And then I pushed it up a third time and like really like sort of pushed it a little bit more.
Yeah, and it stayed?
And it stayed. I was like, okay, we're good.
All right.
And then I began.
This has happened to me before.
Then I began to urinate or micturate, if you want me to be technical.
Can I pause you there? When you're touching the toilet seat and it's going up, like I would never touch that seat. You're just touching it like raw dog with your hand, the toilet seat.
I'm gonna wash my hands.
And you gotta lift it.
I use toilet paper for that.
Well, maybe I should. Maybe I will.
Or maybe I'm too much. But
I'm using the smallest part of my thumb. Like it's like a.
Yeah.
I don't think bacteria can travel across the bridge that I've created.
Right.
Okay.
So,
And Jenna, do you even know that the toilet seats go up?
Yeah, because I have fallen when someone didn't put it back down. Of course I know
that's
they
not
go
a good
up.
feeling. That moment
And
when
also
your
I
butt's supposed
cleaned
to...
my toilet. I know.
I'm joking. I'm messing with you, but so
I'm messing with you.
there's nothing worse than when you sit down on a seat up toilet seat.
I've never done that.
I've done it a couple of times. It's scary, right?
It's scary, and then your butt touches the toilet water, and it's not fun.
Did you do this in the dark?
Because you go down.
What happened when you blindfolded?
Down. Yeah, I sometimes when it's late, it doesn't happen anymore because I don't have boys around.
Yeah.
But back in the day,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, that's worse than touching the toilet seat is when your butt goes into the toilet water.
Well, I think the water's clean.
Like your knee, like the back of your knee is the only thing keeping you from going all the way down the plumbing.
But then like your knees like hit your chest, like you get folded in.
That's a big toilet.
No, it's-
Yeah, well, she's smaller than you.
Okay, I couldn't do that. I'd have to have like
She bends like a folding chair.
I'd
And
have
then
to
at
have
that
like
point,
a cartoon toilet.
at that point, you're just like, go for it. I mean, you're down there. It's like when you walk down a step and there's one more step than you think, but that step, it's not your foot, it's your ass. That's basically what it is.
If you poop underwater, it doesn't smell as bad.
Dude, you're stepping on next week's episode.
Okay. All right, so then what happens?
So I am micturating.
You've smushed it up there, and then
And
you started.
it's holding good. And then I've got a pee stream going. I'm proud of myself. And then it all happened so fast. The seat started coming down. And I had two choices, and I think I made the wrong one. So choice one was to hold it.
Seize it.
Seize it up. Stop the stream, they say.
Yep, clench it.
Seize the stream.
Clench it and cinch it.
But I didn't. I reached down to grab the lid and push it back up. But as I did that, I reached right through my stream. It was like, whoosh. And I was like, now I'm wet-handed because I was going. You know, it doesn't start immediately strong, but it works its way up to strong. And I was at full strength. And I was holding that seat up, and I was like, well, I got to finish now. So I just finished.
Your hands dripping.
And then, yeah, I'm just leaving a little pee on the seat for the next guy to come in and pick up.
So you're sitting there triangulating this thing. You got 3 points of contact.
Yeah,
now.
and so then I finish, and then I let it down. And then I don't know the order of operations at this point, but I did clean up after myself, and then I did wash my hands, and then
And while your pants were still open, your junk was hanging out?
well, I don't recall. Again, I don't recall the norm. I think I
You
was
had one
probably
clean
like,
hand.
I think I was probably like, okay, I got to clean this up and wash my hands, and now I touch myself because I don't want to get urine on my pants as I'm zipping them up.
Right.
So anyway, then I came back to the table and I told you what
But
had just happened.
there is a third option. And that's as the seat's coming down in your full stream.
Pee it back up.
Yeah, if this is a side view, like the stream's coming down here and up, the seat starts coming down. You just have to do one of these things. Seat comes down, whoop, over the top.
Well, you know what I could have done? If it was one of those
Just-
seats that had a
Or
had a-
slap it
had a
down, make it
field
come real
goal,
fast. And just,
you know the seats have a field goal that are open in the front.
Oh, yeah.
I would have peed right through the middle of the horseshoe.
that's
What it wasn't a horse.
I
That's what
never
the
thought.
horseshoe's
That's
for.
what that's for.
Just in case it falls down, you can pee right through it.
Yeah, and it doesn't smack you on the wiener.
Yeah.
Because if what you say is true, then maybe it smacked you on the Peter.
No. I still am pretty tall.
You got seat smacked,
I still am pretty tall.
you Peter.
So that's my update. I would love to hear yours.
Well, what is the first of all? Before we move on, I just want to know what was the right thing to do. You said you'd made the wrong choice.
Okay, let's just say I'm going to go back to that diner because I love it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to sit down. Or I'm going to hold it up.
You're too tall to hold it up.
Maybe I should talk to the front.
I've tried
Y'all got a loose seat.
holding the seat up, but then I'm bent over, and I'm shorter than you, but I'm bent over, and then the area of interest moves back too far. So then I'm like, I don't want to hit my chin. You know?
Wow, you're doing well.
You know? You don't want that. That's not a good feeling, right, Jenna?
Sure.
No, you never felt that, I hope.
I hope.
But the fact that every guy goes in that toilet and pees, and what do? Just pee with the seat down. Or sit, none of these guys sit down.
They're not sitting down.
None of these guys are sitting down.
Not the people I saw in that diner.
So they're just pinging through the smaller hole.
I don't think they can sit
and
down.
wiping the seat. Or the seat is soiled. I would not sit on that seat, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right.
I would just pee through the small hole.
The only thing I can do now is I got to take one of the coffee mugs to the bathroom with me, pee in it, and then just pour it directly into the.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and then just leave it in there and be like, I need another mug. What happened to it?
Now, if you're gonna pee in a coffee mug, there's a whole other set of challenges. I think what you have to do is there has to be a little coffee in it, and you need to submerge. Because otherwise, the level of splatter out of a coffee mug is horrendous.
Okay.
Like, you're concerned about splatter? You've got to.
How about just creamer?
Half-inch deep in creamer.
Instead of coffee, because I don't want to burn myself now.
Yeah.
And I'm talking diner creamer. Because I don't want cold, I don't want hot. I want room temp diner creamer. 2 or 3 coffee mates.
So every time Rhett goes to the diner now, he orders an empty cup of coffee.
4 coffee mates.
And 4
goes
coffee
to the
creamers.
bathroom.
And go ahead and just
What's he doing? He's peeing in the mug.
I'm just getting ready to.
He's had some experiences with toilets.
It's my creamer urinal.
How did we get here? Why are you still watching?
It's about to get better.
Okay, good.
All right, so just as a recap.
We don't really like bathrooms.
Yes, when I let my dogs outside and they pee in the side yard and I need to pee, I also pee in my side yard. It's gravel, and then it goes on through there. And there are some flower pots, and yes, I have a mean bank shot off of we have a big flower pot that's like 3 feet tall, 2.5, 3 feet tall. And it's like rectangular. And I lean against that. And that's where I was.
You're banking it off of the bottom of the flower pot?
Yeah. So as not to create spatter.
But you're peeing on a pot.
Yep. I'm peeing on the side of the pot, which I've seen my dog do that.
What's the pot made of?
Plaster kind of thing. It's black. It hasn't got any mineral deposits on it.
Okay. Yeah.
This is where I was when Lily walked around the corner and caught me. That was the most recent installment in this fiasco.
And she shamed you a little bit.
Yes, I'm still doing it. Yes, she saw me tell the story because you exported it to like Instagram or TikTok or something.
Yeah.
And
our kids only see the social clips.
And she's like, sure, yeah. I don't know what she said, but wasn't anything that was new to her. I mean, that ended with I haven't talked to her since, but that was just a joke. But I was on Reddit, and I just happened to be, I was in Mildly Interesting. You know, we talk about that on the show
That's
sometimes.
appropriate.
I like to be mildly interested sometimes before I go to bed. And I will say that I do have to pee right now.
Okay, I don't see a flower.
So I think that just kind of, if you're feeling a little extra energy, that's what it is. Mildly interesting.
It's a good time to make long-term decisions.
A lot of people posted this in response. It's a picture of a bush, all right? There's just a bush there, outdoors. And above it, it says, my husband's pee bucket with soil turned into a pea plant in a week. My husband likes to pee in a pot of soil.
Okay.
I understand.
We'll let that slide.
In a week, this thing turned into a pea bush seemingly overnight.
Was he peeing seeds? What does she mean?
Yeah, he's spilling his seed in the
That's not how
bucket.
the world works.
Its name is Romina. No idea what plant it is. And then people started commenting. So then she posted, edit. I told him how many upvotes Romina has gotten, and he said, well, did you tell him it was my bathroom? I said, yes, and he got very happy.
Okay.
This man could be my friend. Second edit. Talk amongst yourselves, my lovelies. I am going to bed. So apparently this gathered a lot of people talking. The top comment is a fun fact about ancient Egyptians had a primitive way to see if a woman was pregnant through their urine. I think we've talked about that before, but it's
we
off
still do
topic.
that.
The second topic,
Yeah.
somebody said, I have so many questions. And then she responded, ask away, my friend. Why does he have a pee spot in the first place?
Yeah.
Second question, does he keep peeing in the pot now that there's a plant? How did you come up with the name Romina? Her answers, he just likes to pee in nature, question mark. I don't really know, but he enjoys it. Doesn't hurt me, so I don't care at all. Now that's a woman that I'm thinking that I like. That's my kind of woman right there. Doesn't hurt me, so I don't care at all. Yes, he is very proud that it is now a plant. The last pea spot at the old house was Tony. He has names for everything. Not sure why exactly he chose these. Then somebody replied and said, got that dog in him.
But how did the
I got
plant
that dog.
happen? How did the plant happen?
Somebody asked, does he take S words in pots as well since he's a nature man? She said, thank you, no. How did the pot happen?
How is there a plant? She's making it seem like he made a plant with his urine. That doesn't work.
I think the best guess, which was also talked about down here, is that nitrogen. Nitrogen is a part of fertilizer. So it's some sort of nitrogen component in there. Somebody said grow tomatoes. They love pea, not even lying. Take out that weed and put some seeds or a seedling depending on where you're at in growing season.
But plants cannot live by pee alone, right?
Well, I think that
There has to be some rain as well, maybe. Because when you pee, like when a dog sometimes pees in a certain spot of the yard, it'll kill the grass.
Nitrogen, plants love nitrogen until it burns them and kills the plant. That's why you get dark green spots when your dog pees on your lawn, then a dead spot when they only pee in one spot.
So pee in moderation.
Well, again, I'm peeing on rocks. I'm peeing beside the flower pot, and now I'm realizing I should be peeing in it. I should be peeing in our...
How's your plant-loving wife going to feel about that? Because I don't think she's going to say, since it doesn't affect me, I don't care at all. Because I think it might affect her.
The thing that I haven't told y'all yet is that it's a group of pots all over there, and it's all like herbs.
That she uses in her meals? And presumably fresh herbs. You pick them and then you bring them inside and you eat them. And you don't have to wash them because they haven't been fertilized or pesticided.
Have you been peeing in the pots?
Not yet, but I'm thinking I could help. I mean, this guy said I pee outside on our shrubs in the backyard. They flower like crazy, and now my wife asks me to pee on the other plants in the yard when they look haggard. It works really well. I highly recommend it. Then somebody commented and said we should go on a double date. Y'all should cross streams. I'm sure at some point that will happen.
I'm not interested.
You know the saying, you don't have a pot to piss in? I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Y'all need to be happy for me and my family and my garden and my dogs.
Is your update that you're going to start peeing in the pot? And I really hope that
I'm not going to pee in the pot because it's basil. you know?
You eat that stuff, man.
I eat that stuff. But down below it, I think by the way that the angle is, there's not like a plume of urine. Urine is fine. I mean, right? Madonna said you should pee on your feet in the shower.
Well, in a lot of they wash clothes with it in different cultures. That's what we learned about.
So are we good?
Pompeii.
Are we still good? Jenna?
You're still good.
Yeah. So you're pro me doing this. I mean, sometimes you come over to my house.
I don't walk over in that area.
She's not going to be eating any salad at your house, I'll tell you that much.
I did, in preparation for this conversation, I did go out there and pee again. And then I bent over and I let it sit a while, and then I bent over and I smelled of it.
Okay, we're not good anymore.
I just couldn't. No, but I couldn't smell anything. I mean, it's like what y'all are saying is that doesn't it stink? Doesn't it this? Doesn't it that? No. And now I'm pointing out that it does good. It's. I'm a nature boy. I'm contributing to nature. I'm growing nature.
Well,
I could grow nature.
I still haven't ventured over to that part of your house when I'm over at your house. I probably should do that because I sure can smell where my dogs pee.
But my pee doesn't smell like my dog's pee. And your dogs are peeing on plastic grass.
But it goes through. It's artificial and it goes through and there's gravel underneath it.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying it is a great feeling. And none of you are going to take that away from me. Ever. And I have support.
But your wife might.
Yep, she might. She could do that.
Yeah.
Stream our summer marathons every Tuesday on Mythical 24/7. Learn more at mythical.com/24-7.